The NHL season is in full swing, and there's never been a better time to get in on the action. Whether you're trying to hammer an anytime goal prop from William Nylander or you're trying to bet the money line of the St. Louis Blues, our partners at Sign Up Expert want you to do it with the best. Sign Up Expert is hooking you up, you, the listener, with one of the best news sportsbooks in Canada. Betano. Betano is home to some of the best odds when it comes to betting on the NHL, and is home to some very unique markets like virtual soccer and basketball. All you have to do to get started right now is scan that QR code that's on the screen or hit the link that's in the description. If you think the Canucks have been the best surprise of the season so far, wait till you find out about Betano. Don't walk, run to Betano today. Like I said, scan that QR code that's on the screen right now or hit that link in the description to sign up for Betano. Always remember to play responsibly, and if you are going to play within your means. Hit up Betano today. It is 19 plus only, and scan that QR code, hit the link in the description.
The Jesse Blake Sports Report with Jesse Blake.
Welcome to the Jesse Blake Sports Report, whether this is your first time here or your last time here or somewhere in between. I appreciate that you're here today so that we can trade Connor McDavid to all 31 franchises. And now, if you're listening to this episode or if you're watching on YouTube, you'll probably notice the difference. But if you're listening, you probably won't know this, but this is actually live. So I'm recording this episode live. So all those little edits you often hear where sometimes I'll jump cut audio and all that fun stuff, that's not happening today because this is a live episode. I'm actually on Twitch right now. If you want to subscribe to the SDPN Twitch channel, it's twitch.tv/SDPN live, and turn on those notifications because you never know, like today, Turkey Day in America, when I just decide to hop on Twitch and record a little live episode. So like I said, today we will be trading Connor McDavid to all 31 franchises in the NHL. The Edmonton Oilers are on a 3-game losing streak. They're currently 10 points out of the second wildcard spot in the Western Conference. This is a disaster start for a team that had Stanley Cup aspirations. And if we're being honest, a lot of folks in the media thought they would be very good and win the Stanley Cup. So it's a huge surprise. And the most interesting thing with the Edmonton Oilers is how long are they going to be able to keep Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl? So today we are going to see, what are their options? What does EA Sports NHL 24, and that's why I'm doing this live, is because I'm doing it in a video game. I'm testing out to see where we can trade Connor McDavid, and the video game is going to tell us, hey, what's kind of a realistic trade scenario? What does EA and their simulation engine think that you could get for Connor McDavid? We're not going to be able to trade him to every single team. That's going to be an important thing here. Some teams aren't going to have the assets available to build up to acquire Connor McDavid from the Oilers. So let's do this. We'll go in alphabetical order. How this is going to work, if you're listening, I have NHL 24 in front of me. I have a chat that is on Twitch with us right now. I'm going to get feedback from them as we go along. So if you ever want to interact, like I said, head over to our Twitch feed, twitch.tv/SDPN live. Get an account, hit us up in the chat, and you can interact with the show live. Robert Malloy, who is our wonderful social coordinator. So what was the actual term? For managing the community manager at SDPN is in the chat and just said hi to YouTube. You can do those fun things if you catch us live, and I can fumble over all of my words and you can hear it all because it is live. All right, we're gonna start here with the Anaheim Ducks, and I'm pulling up NHL 24. You hear those little clickins? That's me clicking the buttons in NHL 24. We're gonna go over to the Edmonton Oilers. We're going to select add item on the trade block, and we are going to add Connor McDavid. The rules that I've invented for myself for this little game of trading Connor McDavid to every single team is that, 1, we are just trading McDavid. So these teams are acquiring only McDavid and no other pieces from the Oilers. 2, a rule that I have not made but has been made to me is that we cannot use draft picks because I'm in not franchise mode, but season mode in NHL 24. You can't actually trade draft picks because this isn't a multiple season sim. So you can't control every franchise in franchise mode. In order to control every franchise, you have to use season mode. So that is why I'm using season mode. But in season mode, you can't trade draft picks. So we are trading players on teams for Connor McDavid. What would the Anaheim Ducks have to give up to get Connor McDavid? We're going to start at the very top. We're going to try and do this we're going to try and give up as little as possible. Like, we're not just trying to give up everybody on the roster and then you get Connor McDavid, because that's no fun. We're trying to make a trade where we can keep kind of our franchise together, but also trade for Connor McDavid. So I'm going to try Jamie Drysdale, Mr. Mintyukov, Pavel, and we're going to try just those two and see how that goes. Two of their top prospects in the Ducks system for Connor McDavid. So on the trade value bars, it does not look like this is going to be a very even trade. Trade rejected. All right, so we're going to have to throw in a lot more. I would rather give up Zegras than Leo Carlsson, if I'm being honest at this point. Zegras, Mintyukov, and Drysdale for Connor McDavid. Does not get it done, according to NHL 24. Leo Carlsson. No, let's take out Leo Carlsson. We're gonna add Mason. Sorry. We're gonna add Mason McTavish. Mason McTavish. There we go. Mason McTavish, Trevor Zegras, Pavel Mintyukov, and Jamie Drysdale for Connor McDavid. Trade rejected. Okay, so we're gonna remove McTavish. We're gonna add Troy Terry. My bad. I did not add Troy Terry. So we're going to add Troy Terry. Let's do this. Drysdale, Mintyukov, Zegras, Terry. And then after we get every trade, I want the chat to let me know, like, would you do this on either side? Trade rejected. Okay, so this is getting ridiculous because this is a trade in real life that honestly nobody would do. And I think the Edmonton Oilers would accept it in a heartbeat. Leo Carlsson, I've added now. Troy Terry, Trevor Zegras, Mintyukov, and Jamie Drysdale for Connor McDavid. Trade accepted. We've done our first trade. 1 of 31 is done. And then let's just trade Connor McDavid back. So that is the complete trade for Connor McDavid. We had to give up Trevor Zegras, Leo Carlsson, Jamie Drysdale, Mintyukov, and Troy Terry. So I'm just going to take a couple of them and trade them back so we can trade for Connor McDavid. And that's fine. That's good enough. Oops, I did not do it. So first, we're starting with a ridiculous trade. There's no way that happens in real life. So I think the conclusion for the Anaheim Ducks is that they probably could not trade for Connor McDavid, but like, I would accept that, but if that's the bar it takes to get him, it's probably not enough. All right, we've traded him back. Let's move on to the Arizona Coyotes. I think the Arizona Coyotes are going to be the first team that just does not have the assets to do it. So we're probably going to get a whole bunch of rejected trades and then be unable to acquire Connor McDavid, especially without draft picks. Like, I just don't see Keller, Cooley, Genther, and Dursey getting it done. So first trade we're going to try is Clayton Keller, Logan Cooley, Dylan Genther, and Sean Dursey for Connor McDavid. Trade rejected. None of that works. And then we're going to add in their next highest paid player, Nick Schmaltz, add assets. So on the trade machine, the trade values of each player is added up for those not watching. And then you can see like the little bars and can you accumulate enough trade value on the other side to equal Connor McDavid? I don't think the Arizona Coyotes are be able to do it. Let's see if they can. No. Trade rejected. So I would say in real life, 100% this trade would get it done. But in video game land, the Arizona Coyotes cannot trade for Connor McDavid. I added all 5 of their top players to the trade, and they could not do it. Let's head over to the Boston Bruins. The Boston Bruins are interesting because they can easily do a 1-for-1 for Connor McDavid. I believe the trade value on David Pastrnak is enough alone to get Connor McDavid. So we're not going to try that. Yeah, so if we traded McAvoy or Pasta 1-for-1, we'd be able to get it done. So let's try Lindholm, Marchand, Carlo. Is that a McDavid? Trade rejected. Okay. McAvoy for McDavid 1-for-1. This is done. This is 100% done. All right. According to NHL 24, Connor McDavid, I got to trade him back. Connor McDavid is worth one Charlie McAvoy. I don't know if I agree, but we've traded him to our, I guess this is the third team we've tried. I think this is one of the more successful trades out of the first three we've tried. McAvoy is worth McDavid. Real life? No. I don't think this gets done. Fake land? Yeah. You can do it. Let's move on to the Buffalo Sabres. I didn't skip anybody yet. Next up, the Buffalo Sabres. Is anybody doing that in the chat right now? McAvoy for McDavid? Somebody says Chell is broken. Scoop says that's a trade. Somebody says, holy, this game is bad. That's broken value. McAvoy, this is off the post, says McAvoy for McDavid is giving Hall for Larson vibes. It's time 33 says, yes, if I like the Bruins. This is good stuff. Hall for Larson vibes is so true. All right, we are now moving on to the Buffalo Sabres. What would the Buffalo Sabres have to give up to get Connor McDavid? So we got here Tage, Dahlin, Owen Power. Can we do an Owen Power? Can we just do Rasmus Dahlin 1-for-1? Like, are we getting this broken? Okay, trade rejected. Rasmus Dahlin does not get you Connor McDavid. Charlie McAvoy gets you Connor McDavid. So we're gonna move a center because we're gonna have McDavid run up center. But you want Tage Thompson still. So let's try and do great prospect Zach Benson. That's a future center, and then Dylan Cousins. You got your second line, so you're moving him out, and then we're gonna throw in a winger. We're gonna throw in a D. Maybe we gotta give up Owen Power. I think it's Owen Power, Dylan Cousins, and Zach Benson for Connor McDavid. Let's try it. Trade rejected. Oh, okay. All right. So we're not getting him that easily this time. High end D, Rasmus Dahlin, Dylan Cousins, Zach Benson. I think this should get it done. Dahlin, Cousins, Benson. Trade rejected. So you got to give up Tage. I'm thinking we got to give up Tage here. Tage, Benson, Cousins? No. Oh, Tage and Dahlin. I think that's what it comes down to. Tage and Dahlin for McDavid. There it is. Trade rejected. Oh my gosh. Okay, that would have got it done in real life. I'm over this one. Owen Power, Rasmus Dahlin, and Tage Thompson, according to NHL 24. I vehemently disagree. I think Tage and Dahlin would have probably got it done, and we're going to trade them back. Oh, I keep messing that up. Trade them back. Okay. Let's do this. So, according to NHL 24, it would take Thompson, Dahlin, and Owen Power for McDavid. Oh, they won't even take that back. All right, proposed trade. There we go. All right, Connor McDavid is back on the Edmonton Oilers. Now, over to the Calgary Flames. We are going to trade players. The Calgary Flames might be another situation like the Arizona Coyotes where they don't have enough assets to trade for Connor McDavid. We're going to do the mega trade right away. We are going to do the massive mega trade of McDavid. This is just right away. McDavid to the Calgary Flames for Lindholm, Rasmus Anderson, Mackenzie Weegar, Jonathan Huberdeau, and Nazem Kadri. If I'm Calgary, I do this tomorrow. If I'm the Oilers, I never do this ever. Actually, is there enough there? What do you think, chat? Is there enough there if you're Edmonton and you say, I would do this because I'm getting so much for one guy? Let's see if this works. Trade rejected. So this is all of their top value players. They do not have enough assets to trade for Connor McDavid in NHL 24. I think this is a pretty fair trade. If I'm being 100% honest, so Robert says it's somehow not enough, which is kind of true. Also, there's no salary cap implications here, so they have to work out the salary cap. And so in real life, this probably doesn't work, I guess, because the money doesn't work. They'd have to throw back so much other money just to get this done. But the Calgary Flames, I don't think, have enough assets to trade for Connor McDavid. And yeah, I don't know. If I'm Edmonton, I'm probably not doing that either. It's probably not enough, and the salary cap implications there is just ridiculous. Thank you for pointing that out. Because I haven't even taken into the salary cap considerations at all so far in all of these trades. Shout out It's Time 33 for mentioning that. All right, Connor McDavid to the Carolina Hurricanes. This one will be able to get done because they have Marty Necas, who is a very high trade value player. So, but how little can we do? Can we do Necas, Aho, and Brett Pesce? I think I wouldn't do this ever because that's not enough for me, but the game, no. So Necas, Aho, and Svechnikov. Trade rejected. Okay. Necas, Aho, Slavin. Top three doesn't get it done. Necas, Aho, Slavin, Brett Pesce. Accepted. Okay. All right. That's quite a bit. I would do that in real life. I think this is a trade that if I am the Edmonton Oilers, I take this in a heartbeat. If the Carolina Hurricanes are willing to offer me Brett Pesce, Sebastian Aho, Marty Necas, and Jacob Slavin for Connor McDavid, that is a done deal in my eyes. What do you guys think in the chat? Goalies aren't real. Yeah, I've just been trading skaters. I can definitely go over to the goalies if I need to add them. But right now, I don't think we've had to add any goalies here. Which goalies would have affected those trades? We'll get deeper on the list. When we get to some other teams that have star goalies, when we get to a UC Saros, I think a UC Saros is very important to a trade like this because Edmonton needs goaltending. I think that's what we know in real life. Edmonton needs goaltending. This is going to be the easiest one. We are now on to the Chicago Blackhawks. This is the easiest trade ever. It is Connor Bedard for Connor McDavid, 1-for-1. Franchise player for franchise player. Proposed trade accepted. All right, let's trade him back. Connor Bedard gets you a Connor McDavid every day of the week. And let's see if the trade works backwards too. Does the McDavid get you a Bedard? Yes, it does. Chicago Blackhawks, you can have yourself one Connor McDavid with a Connor Bedard. All right, this is going to be an easy one as well. Nathan McKinnon would get you a Connor McDavid, but we're going to try and get this deal done without Nathan McKinnon. Dung Beetle says Oilers should be adding in that deal. Correct. All right, Connor McDavid, 4. We're going to try and get this deal done. Makar, McKinnon, Rantanen all would get you Connor. Is Rantanen 1-for-1? Okay, let's try it. Taves, Devin Taves, Landeskog, Byram, Girardi, Nichushkin. This is a ridiculous. You're going to just a haul of defensemen. I think this might do it. There's so much trade. Okay, so Colorado Avalanche are trading Devon Taves, Gabriel Landeskog, Bo Byram, Sam Girard, and Valerie Nichushkin for Connor McDavid. Salaries don't work. Salary cap would not take this trade. So let's try it. Trade rejected. Does not work. And it's also just too many guys. And like that, it doesn't make too much sense. So let's try and do a Rantanen for McDavid 1-for-1. Is NHL 24 saying that's worth? Rejected. Rantanen does not get you McDavid. But Rantanen and Byram gets you McDavid. Does it? Trade accepted. No, I would not do that. If I was the Edmonton Oilers, I would not take Rantanen and Bo Byram for Connor McDavid. I don't think I would accept that trade. NHL 24 says that is what it will take to acquire Connor McDavid from the Colorado Avalanche. Now, Columbus Blue Jackets. Does just McKinnon get you McDavid? Says Turbo Turbs. Yes. It does. His trade value is at the max. He's a franchise player. So any franchise player in the NHL can be traded 1-for-1 for Connor McDavid. Off the Post says NHL trade system is so broken. Laine, Goudreau have to be there. That's APOC 190. Let's see. So Laine for sure. Goudreau, Kent Johnson. Fantilli's trade value needs to be so much higher. Alan Walsh client, David Juracek. We're not going to throw him in just yet. Let's see if Laine, Goudreau, and Kent Johnson get you Connor McDavid. There's no way in a million years, if I was the Edmonton Oilers, I would take this deal. But we will see what NHL 24 says. Trade rejected. All right, let's add in Mr. Fantilli. Fantilli, Kent Johnson, Johnny Gaudreau, and Patrick Laine. Trade rejected. Max 5 of the trade values. This is it. If this does not get you Connor McDavid, then he cannot be traded. So for Columbus, they would need a package of David Juracek, Adam Fantilli, Kent Johnson, Johnny Gaudreau, and Patrick Laine to acquire Connor McDavid. The salary cap, if Edmonton's like a little under, it might actually work with all of the minimum salaries on Johnson, Fantilli, Juracek. Let's see if this trade goes through. Trade accepted! Oh, wow! Okay! All right. Chat, what do you think of that deal? The game says that is fair value. I don't think Fantilli, Juracek, and Johnson is quite the haul. But then it's enticing. So I can't even trade him back. It's very enticing if you're Edmonton. Yarmo wouldn't do that, says JRock12. Yeah, I don't think Yarmo loves sitting on his hands. I don't think he's doing anything. The Edmonton Blue Jackets, they'll have more points, but only from overtime losses. We're on to the Dallas Stars. That's a very interesting one. I think that is very interesting because the prospects in there make you consider it. You're like, Fantilli, Juracek, and Johnson. Okay, that's something. And then you get some now players like Patrick Laine, and I think there's something there. I don't know if it works salary-wise, but there's something there. Jason Robertson, so we moved on to the Dallas Stars. Jason Robertson, 1-for-1, gets you Connor McDavid because he's a franchise player. If we just insert him now, you can get him 1-for-1 for Connor McDavid. We can do that, and we can move on. Or we can try Miro Heiskanen, Rupe Hintz, Joe Pavelski, and Matt Duchene for Connor McDavid. Trade rejected. Didn't think that would work. We're going to try Jamie Benn. Trade rejected. All right, let's do the thing. Jason Robertson, according to NHL 24, should trade you. Trade should be enough for Connor McDavid. There it is. Jason Robertson, according to this video game, gets you Connor McDavid. I would not do that. That doesn't make sense for the Edmonton Oilers. It would make a lot of sense for the Dallas Stars, and that is an absolute fleecing. So, yeah, no way that happens in real life. All right, so the Detroit Red Wings are up next. We're making our way through this. I think we're making good time here. Detroit Red Wings are trying to acquire Connor McDavid. Mo Seider's trade value isn't very high. So it's going to have to be a package of Raymond. Let's see how little I can do. DeBrincat, Raymond, Casper, Larkin. I'm trying to hold on to Mo Seider. So Larkin, Dylan Larkin, Marco Casper, Alex DeBrincat, and Lucas Raymond for Connor McDavid. Trade rejected. Salaries would not work. They wouldn't really work. I'm not sure if Detroit has enough assets. Seider, Larkin, DeBrincat, Raymond. This I would take if I'm Edmonton in real life. I take this. Trade rejected. So last part of the deal is Edvinsson. If Edvinsson can't do it, then Detroit just does not have enough assets. Oh, there you go. All right. So according to the game, it would take, let me just pull up all the guys I traded. It would take Seider, Larkin, DeBrincat, Edvinsson, and I'm missing somebody who was in that deal. Seider, Larkin, DeBrincat, Lucas Raymond, and Edvinsson to acquire Connor McDavid. This trade doesn't make sense for anything in real life. Yeah, I think that's a not happening at all on both sides in real life. Next up, the Florida Panthers. Matt Tkachuk's probably going to be a part of this deal in some way. We will see. Let me see. Matt Tkachuk, Connor McDavid. Yes, Matt Tkachuk's the franchise player. So what we're going to do is try and keep Matt Tkachuk in this team, on this lineup. We're going to try and trade Sasha Barkov, Brandon Montour. Let's try just two. Barkov and Montour. This is actually, we're going to get interesting here because these salaries match. The trade value is very close. This is something. All you're doing is upgrading your center and you're trading away Brandon Montour. Trade rejected. Okay. Just a little sweetener. Like if we could trade picks here, I think this is where we do like two firsts, and it'd get a little spicy. Anton Lundell added to the trade. Trade accepted. That one is fascinating. Barkov, Montour, and Lundell for Connor McDavid went through. I personally, if I'm Edmonton, I don't do it. If I'm Florida, in a heartbeat, I do it. That's, I think the consensus there. And they wouldn't even let me trade McDavid back with Lundell in the deal. APOC says, Florida should do it. Yes. And Barkov is underrated. That is very true. Dr. Doc Production says, isn't the season mode player trading easier than the franchise mode trading system? So no, you can set the difficulty of trading in each mode, and they're very the same. It's just easy, medium, or difficult. And this is set to medium. This is set to medium difficulty trading. So I figure like that's the most fair setting to have, and that's what we're working off of. So medium difficulty trade setting in NHL 24 is what we are basing these trades off of. I figured hard would be too hard and easy would be too easy. And that is why we are right in the middle in the Goldilocks zone. So we are now with the Los Angeles Kings. Drew Doughty, Brant Clark, Quinton Byfield, Kevin Fiala. Do they get you Connor McDavid? This trade doesn't make much sense. Also, I need to trade away some players from Edmonton. So let me just do this first so that they can accept more guys. So I'm just going to get a bunch of guys and just trade them away from Edmonton. Give me a second here. We're going to just trade all of these players. They are now yours, LA. Oh my gosh, I can't just do that. Okay, hold on. I just need to get bottom of the barrel players. Bear with me, everybody. Grant McKegg, Vinny Desharnais. Oh, we need to get NHL roster players too. So let's do... Yeah, let me see if this works. Okay. Middle of the road players on the NHL roster. Here we go. No. Terry. Jan Mark. Ryan McLeod. There we go. Okay. And then somebody decent that LA can acquire these guys for. Kopitar, Kempe. So we're going to dump 3 salaries. There we go. Okay. Back to trading McDavid. Doughty, Brant Clark, Byfield, Troy Terry's not on the team. Kevin Fiala, those 4 for Connor McDavid. Oh, didn't click them. Doughty, Clark, Byfield, Fiala for Connor McDavid. Let's see if this works. I don't think this is going through. Trade rejected. I don't think LA has enough assets to acquire Connor McDavid. Trade rejected. All right. According to NHL 24, the deal of Drew Doughty, Brant Clark, Quentin Byfield, Kevin Fiala, and Philip Deneau cannot get you Connor McDavid. So LA does not have the trade value assets to acquire McDavid. I think that is a ridiculous trade, and it would probably go through. So next up, we got the Minnesota Wild. They have Kirill Kaprizov. So I think him alone should be able to get you Connor McDavid. Kaprizov for McDavid. Rejected. Kaprizov plus Matt Boldy. No, we're going to do Jonas Brodin. No, Jared Spurgeon. Jared Spurgeon and Kaprizov for McDavid. Rejected. Spurgeon and Kaprizov does not get you McDavid. Marco Rossi. Let's see if he gets it done. Rejected. Ooh. Boldy. Matt Boldy. Rejected. Okay, so this might be a lot more realistic than we think. There it is. Okay. Marco Rossi, Matt Boldy, and Kaprizov for Connor McDavid. That's a lot closer to a real-life trade than we'd think. It's just the only thing there that complicates things is, 1, the salary. Salary doesn't really match up. And 2, acquiring 3 forwards. That's not really what Edmonton would want. You know, they wouldn't want those 3 forwards there. Oh, they can't even trade them back. So I don't think it would get done in that way. All right. Connor McDavid is now back on the Oilers. Let's move on to the Montreal Canadiens. The Montreal Canadiens, how could they acquire Connor McDavid? Let's see here. Let's get him first on the trade machine. Somebody called me Chuck Fletcher in the chat. Yes, I am Chuck Fletcher. I make awful trades, but that is the game here. Nick Suzuki, Cole Caulfield, Juraj Slafkovsky are their 3 highest trade value players. If we did a Reinbacher... See, I love the Montreal Canadiens in this fake trade scenario here because we have some assets where we can hey, this could make sense. Let's try and build the most realistic trade for Connor McDavid here. Because I think we can get real close to something in real life. I think let's do this. It'd have to be Slafkovsky, Reinbacher. They got to be the basis of the deal. Same with Nick Suzuki. Those 3, right? And then you get the goalie in there. I'm bringing the goalies. You want Montembeault for sure. He's in there as well. So we got Reinbacher. Edmonton would have too many goalies. So we're going to move a goalie. I'm breaking the rules here. I'm breaking the rules. We are moving a goalie. I'm adding Jack Campbell. Yeah, okay. All right. Reinbacher, Slavkovsky, Suzuki, Montembeault to Edmonton for Jack Campbell and Connor McDavid. Are we doing this? Does the game think it's fair? I'm going to hit propose trade. Trade rejected. Maybe Campbell's too good to give up. Who's their worst goaltender? Oh, Calvin Pickard. All right, let me see. Campbell's now Pickard. Trade rejected. No, it doesn't work. I think the Canadiens will have to give up Caulfield and Suzuki. And we're going to take out Slavkovsky. Caulfield, Suzuki, Montembeault, Reinbacher, Connor McDavid, and Calvin Pickard. Trade rejected. All right, let's add back Slavkovsky. And if Slavkovsky doesn't work, then we're out on the realistic trade. Trade rejected. We're gonna remove Montembeault. We're gonna throw in Kirby Dach. We're gonna throw in Nick Suzuki, and we're gonna try this. And we're gonna remove Calvin Pickard. Trade rejected. All right, NHL 24 says this is not enough to acquire Connor McDavid. Nick Suzuki, Kirby Dach, Uri Slavkovsky, Cole Caulfield, and Mr. Reinbacher is not enough to acquire Connor McDavid. The Montreal Canadiens cannot get it done. Next up, the Nashville Predators. Matt Gamble says, the problem is the game should decrease the value when Jack gets added. That's true. That is very true. The NHL sim engine doesn't have the ability to, because like if you're trading away Jack Campbell, that means you have to throw in sweeteners. Like you are losing value there when you add Jack Campbell, and the game doesn't really take that into account. It is just always a plus because you're adding a player, but that player is a negative because of his contract and how he's playing. So there isn't that little nuance there to this trade machine. Roman Josi for Connor McDavid does not work. With Nashville, Philip Forsberg and Roman Josi. Trade rejected. Forsberg, Josi, and Cody Glass. This is a ridiculous trade. Trade accepted. Okay. No. If I'm Nashville, I've done this trade 100 times out of 100 before Ken Holland can even like get it out of his mouth. But there's no way I'm trading Josi, Forsberg, and Cody Glass for Connor McDavid. Anybody in the chat doing that? I'm not doing that. Because, yeah, there's no way. Oh, I can't even do that. Trade rejected. Oh, let me take out Cody Glass. All right, McDavid's now back on the Oilers. Let's head over to the New Jersey Devils. Trade players. The Devils one is going to be a lot easier because of the young talent that the Devils have. Connor McDavid. For Jack Hughes. You'd have to give up Jack Hughes. You want to keep one of Hughes or Hischier. Like that's the point here. I think there's enough talent on the Devils. Like with the Canadiens, what we were trying to do is build something more realistic. So let's take a look and see if we can do that here. We're going to throw them a goalie. Oh, Hadoken cheered. Thank you, Hadoken. We're going to throw in Vanacek. We're going to throw in Jack Hughes. So you want to keep Jack Hughes, but like you want to trade Connor McDavid. You want to acquire Connor McDavid. So Jack Hughes is the one who's got to go. But you're going to keep Nico Hischier. You're going to give up Luke Hughes and Dougie Hamilton. So you're trading the Hughes brothers plus Hamilton and Vanacek for Connor McDavid. Oh, Edmonton has too many goalies. And Edmonton is sending back Calvin Pickard and Connor McDavid. Let's see if this gets done. Trade accepted! Oh! Devils fans, do you want Connor McDavid or do you want Vanacek, the Hughes brothers, and Dougie Hamilton? Let me know. Because I think that's a little ridiculous. I don't think it gets done at all. But you are also acquiring Connor McDavid, and you're keeping Jesper Bratt. You're keeping Nico Hischier. You know, you still have a lot of pieces there. Plus Connor McDavid. If you're the Devils, like, you're not doing this because you're betting that Connor McDavid Jack Hughes, is as good as Connor McDavid and he makes less money. Like, there's no way you do it in that respect because you're just like, I can just keep Jack Hughes and not lose those other assets and still have Dougie Hamilton, still have Luke Hughes, and there's no way I do that. But I think we got to something at least interesting. Oilers say no from It's Time 33. If I'm the Oilers, I say yes. I'm doing that one. All right, so we're going to start here with Ilya Sorokin. We are on the New York Islanders right now. Ilya Sorokin for Connor McDavid does not get done, but Ilya Sorokin plus a sweetener for Connor McDavid and Calvin Pickard, because whenever we trade goalies, we got to throw in a goalie because the game does not allow the Edmonton Oilers to have too many goalies on their roster. So we're going to throw in Fanti. Who is this? Ryan Fanti. All right, Ryan Fanti. All right. And Ilya Sorokin for Connor McDavid. Trade rejected. Okay, so Ilya Sorokin plus, is it like Barzal we're giving up? Noah Dobson. So you get some defense, you get a goaltender, and you got to give up Connor McDavid. No, Noah Dobson does not get it done. Mr. Ryan Pollock? Maybe Bo Horvat's got to come back the other way because you need a center. Let's try Bo Horvat. Trade rejected. Let's go to the very top. You're getting McDavid, so you can give up Barzal. Trade rejected. Wow. Okay. Horvat. Oh, okay. There we go. So that was Horvat, Barzal, Noah Dobson, and Sorokin. I forgot who the defenseman was that we threw in there. Noah Dobson and Sorokin. That's a lot. If I'm Edmonton, I do it, I think. I think I do that deal if I'm the Edmonton Oilers, to be honest. I think that might be enough. I'm just going to try and get some players off of this roster here. Okay. I think that's enough. That's quite a bit from the Islanders, and you get the star goaltender, and you fix a lot of your problems with the defenseman. I don't know. I think that's a very interesting trade. I think we might have stumbled upon something with the Islanders there. All right, New York. The New York Rangers acquiring Connor McDavid. What's it going to take? Panarin 1-for-1? Adam Fox 1-for-1 gets it done. Panarin's not quite enough. Adam Fox for Connor McDavid 1-for-1. Who says no? Rangers fans, Oilers fans. Connor McDavid for Adam Fox 1-for-1. Who says no? Because according to NHL 24, it's a deal that gets done. One, I don't think the Rangers need Connor McDavid. Well, everybody needs Connor McDavid, but it's not like that's what is ailing the New York Rangers, a first-line franchise center. I feel like having Adam Fox is more useful for the New York Rangers than having Connor McDavid. But he's also Connor McDavid. He's also the best player in the world. And does Adam Fox solve a lot of Edmonton's problems? Yes, I do think he does. But I don't know if it's a fair deal. Toronto trade is Bertuzzi and Nyes. Interesting, nothing against Adam Fox. Edmonton says no. I think that's a very, very interesting one that we can think about for a little bit here. All right. Ottawa Senators. Stützle, Brady Tkachuk, Hatzenbacho, Thomas Chabot. 2, the Edmonton Oilers. 4, Connor McDavid. Stützle, Tkachuk, and Chabot. So first of all, this one's a little too unrealistic because of the salaries. I think we're in a position with the Ottawa Senators. I'm going to make this one quick, where they don't have the assets to trade for Connor McDavid. So let me just add a couple skaters here to get rid of skaters in the organization. All right. Oh, okay. I stand corrected. If you load up on all of the top 5 players according to trade value in NHL 24 on the Ottawa Senators, you do indeed have enough to acquire Connor McDavid. Stützle, Tkachuk, who else did I throw? Thomas Chabot, Jacob Chikrin, and Jake Sanderson get you Connor McDavid. Wow. I'm actually surprised. I did not think that trade would go through. We're going to do it back now. Oh, and wait, who did I add there? Because Vlad Tarasenko. Did I also throw in Tarasenko? Yeah, when did I throw in how did I throw in Tarasenko as well? Oh, no, because Tarasenko's on that side. I'm looking at the wrong screen. Okay, Tarasenko, yeah, was already on the Senators. I'm on the Senators side. Okay, so Sanderson, Chikrin, Chabot, Brady Tkachuk, and Tim Stützle for Connor McDavid. There's no way. First of all, this one's a little too unrealistic. Salaries will never work, so fake deal. If I'm Ottawa, I don't do it. It's an entire franchise. You're trading for one guy. That doesn't make much sense. And I can't even trade him back. So let's do that. Trade rejected. Now I got to find a way to trade him back. Okay, there we go. Now he's been traded back. Let's move on. Next team up, the Philadelphia Flyers. I think with the Flyers, we might be in the same Ottawa situation where they do not have enough talent to get this done. The Ottawa situation, actually, they did have enough talent to get it done. It was I was very wrong about that. McDavid for 5 top stars on the Philadelphia Flyers, and I just got to add in some contracts because we are over 45 contracts in the Edmonton Oilers system. So let's just add in the bottom of the barrel there. Does this get done? Morgan Frost, Couturier, Konechny, Sanheim, and York. Trade rejected. Philadelphia, I'm sorry. You do not have enough. I'm just going to dump a whole bunch of players here to Edmonton just so I can solve this players in the organization problem. Sean Couturier for all these guys. All right, awesome. Dumped 4 guys. Sweet. All right, next up, Pittsburgh. Crosby, McDavid, 1. Oops, I advanced the day. My bad. Crosby, McDavid, 1-for-1. Is that still a thing? Erik Karlsson and Sidney Crosby, 1-for-1. Penguins fans, this is never going to happen. Not in a million trillion years would this ever happen. That's $18 million in salary. Connor McDavid, Sidney Crosby, Erik Karlsson, Swappy Doodle-Doo. Trade rejected. Not enough according to the game. Not enough according to real life. Malkin, Crosby, Karlsson for McDavid. Rejected. That would have been a fun one. All right. Malkin, Crosby, Letang, Crosby, Karlsson, Malkin, Letang for McDavid. Accepted! I don't know. If I'm Edmonton, I say yes. If I'm Edmonton, I say yes. Letang, Karlsson, Malkin, Crosby for McDavid, I say yes. 100 times out of 100. I do that deal if I'm Ken Holland and the Edmonton Oilers. I'm sorry. That's it. That is a fair deal if I'm Edmonton. If I'm Pittsburgh, I probably also do that deal. And I start a new phase of my franchise. And then where is Letang? There he is. Let's trade him back. Let's see if the deal works backwards. Audie says, I can't wait until we get to San Jose. Crosby and Malkin with Draisaitl is dangerous. This is off the post. Off the posty. Agreed. I think that'd be a lot of fun. All right, let's do this backwards. Trade accepted. Awesome. Let's do the San Jose Sharks. They're up next. San Jose Sharks, I don't think are going to have enough assets, but we will see. I was wrong about the Sens. The Sens did have enough assets. We're going to do Eklund, Hurdle, Couture, Duclair. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. One more. We're going to add in Mario Ferraro. And there's no way. Rejected. I'm sorry, San Jose Sharks and San Jose Sharks fans. You do not have enough assets, according to NHL 24, to acquire Connor McDavid. All right, Seattle Kraken. Let's get cracking with the Kraken. Matty Beniers, Shane Wright, Vince Dunn, and Adam Larson. Bring them back to Edmonton. Let's see. Oh, and then I got to get McDavid in this. Let's do McDavid. Matty Beniers, Shane Wright, Vince Dunn, Adam Larson for Connor McDavid. I want to make this one realistic. Like, is Vince, because you got to give up the elite defenseman, right? Adam Larson's the other defenseman you got to give up because you're not just going to give up Vince Dunn and get this done. And then Shane Wright's your prospect, you're done with, you're willing to give him up in the deal. And then Matty Beniers, you're swapping for Connor McDavid. This is a tad reasonable, I think. And then on Edmonton's side, you get all of these assets and you're giving up McDavid. Let's see what happens. Rejected. I thought we had something. I legit thought we had something. Toivonen, we're swapping in there. That doesn't get it done. Last-ditch effort. Let's do Larson here, and then we'll upgrade to Jared McCann. Rejected. Okay, so this is the last effort. Seattle either can or they can't. Matty Beniers, Shane Wright, Vince Dunn, Ellie Tolvanen, and Jared McCann for Connor McDavid. Now, I think we've crossed the bar on this getting done in real life. It is a little too much. Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers in NHL 24 say no. They do not say it in real. They don't accept it. Seattle probably wouldn't do it. Seattle, you do not have enough assets, according to NHL 24, to acquire Connor McDavid. Next up, the St. Louis Blues. What do they got here? Jordan Kyrou, Buchnevich, Robert Thomas. This so many forwards. Let me see. Goalies like Binnington. Where's Binnington? Oh, Binnington's trade value's in the tank. Oh my gosh. Wow. NHL 24 is so low on Jordan Binnington. He is not even worth putting in the deal. Let's try Parayko, Justin Falk, because you want some defensemen in there for Edmonton, because they're not just going to take all of those forwards. Wow, I had no idea Jordan Binnington sucks so hard in NHL 24. They do not like him. Trade rejected. All right, so we're going to try top 5 assets in St. Louis. Does St. Louis have enough assets? I'm going to say this is going to be a no. Braden Chen, Kevin Hayes, Robert Thomas, Buchnevich, and Jordan Kyrou for Connor McDavid. Rejected. St. Louis Blues, you do not have enough assets to acquire Connor McDavid. Wow. Tampa. Now, Tampa, we can build a real package because Tampa has so many stars. The stupid Lightning are so good that we can try and build the most realistic package here surrounding Andrei Vasilevsky. Let's do this. Let's try and get Point plus Hedman, says Jazz Jackrabbit. Point and Hedman. I think the goalie's got to be the main thing here. We're putting in Jack Campbell. We're putting in Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid and Jack Campbell to the Lightning for Andrei Vasilevsky and is it Victor Hedman? I think it's Victor Hedman. Is that too much? Hedman, like, I don't think you got to give up your center, right? Because you're acquiring the center. You wouldn't acquire Connor McDavid and still have Braden Point, right? Unless you're moving Point to the wing or just on the second line. And Stamkos moved to the wing, like that's a thing. It's got to be Point or Hedman going the other way. Yeah, Turbo Turb said, I feel like we can do a few trade scenarios. This is a fascinating one. I'm trying to put myself in the mind of Tampa Bay Lightning fans and the GM and everybody, because like, what would I accept for Connor McDavid? The upgrade would be, I'd say getting McDavid is an upgrade over Point, but Edmonton's gonna want some sort of forward back. So let's try this. Let's try this straight up. Vasilevsky and Point for McDavid and Campbell. I think this gets, oh my gosh, this gets done so easily. We don't even need to give up all that. Stamkos and Vasi for McDavid and Campbell. Trade rejected. Okay, Stamkos. Oh, this one makes sense too because Stamkos is expiring, right? At the end of this year. So you get your elite defenseman. Oh, hear me out. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we got something. Crab people. Andrei Vasilevsky. That's the goalie piece of the deal, right? Edmonton gets their goalie. They get to dump the salary of Jack Campbell going the other way. So the $5 million goes back. They get to acquire the expiring contract of Steven Stamkos. Let's say, fake life scenario. Steven Stamkos and Julien Brisebois, they have it out and they're like, I'm not signing this deal. I'm upset. So Steven Stamkos isn't going to re-sign with Edmonton. Smart GM Brisebois is like, I'm going to get some assets and I'm going to go out and I'm going to get Connor McDavid for Stamkos. I'm going to send in Vasi because we've had a bad season. Say Tampa's out of the playoffs. Like that's also the scenario here. In this fake scenario, Tampa's not making the playoffs. They've had a terrible season. They throw in Mikhail Sergachev because they know they got to give up some sort of young asset to Edmonton because Edmonton wants that stud defenseman on the back end because goaltending, defense and goaltending is such a problem for them. I think we got a great trade. Accepted! This makes sense on both sides, right? Right? Stamkos, Sergachev, Vasi for McDavid and Campbell? I think so. Kind of. Maybe not, but we'll see. I think that was one of the most fun ones. We got assets going both ways. That's a lot of fun. Let's just send this back over. McDavid's now back on the Edmonton Oilers. Edmonton says no. Yeah, everybody's saying Edmonton says no. Because we got it's time. J-Rock says no. Oh my Josh says, honestly, if I'm Tampa, I say no. How dare you? Come on. All right, we've wasted a lot of time getting to the one team that really matters, the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's a total loss on the Lightning's part, but Brandon Smith says total loss on the Lightning's part. But you get Connor McDavid. And you weren't re-signing Steven Stamkos in our fake world scenario. And so all you gave up was Vasi, who's getting old and is making a lot of money. Let's say you can buy out Jack Campbell. He's no longer on the team. Or you could send him somewhere else with draft picks, and you get Connor McDavid, and you rebuild. I don't know. I think there's something there. There is something there. Hear me out. This is the one that matters, says Vanilla Gorilla. Yeah, this is it. This is what we've all been waiting for. We are now an hour and 13 into the stream. About an hour into the pod. Connor McDavid to the Toronto Maple Leafs. We're not going to give up Austin Matthews. We're not going to... Well, Marner has got to be in the deal, right? Marner for McDavid, 1-for-1? Marner for McDavid, 1-for-1. What happens? If I'm the Leafs, obviously I'm doing this. If I'm Edmonton, I'm not doing this. So it's not totally realistic. Does NHL 24 say that's value? No. Good. I'm happy that didn't work because it wouldn't have been fair. So I think you have to build around Marner in this deal because you want to be able to run out. Oh, Marner, Tavares. The salaries don't work, so you got to take back some salary. We're building this as real as possible because, you got to take back. It's not Nuge. Is it Hyman? It's Hyman back to the Leafs. Hyman, McDavid for Marner, Tavares. Edmonton doesn't do that. No. They're trying to keep that. I don't even know if I want to throw in JT. JT's not going to work. You're on the wing now. You're a winger. John Tavares, you're a winger in this deal. All right. So we're working through this. They're going to want Morgan Riley. They're going to want Riley, I would think, because they want some sort of defense coming the other way. This is tricky. We're getting this from Doug Lee fans, switch Marner with Nylander as we can't sign him, and he was born in Calgary. Bring Soupy back in CC. There's no way we're bringing Soup back in CC. This is okay. This is fascinating. Okay, so Marner's got to be in the deal because his franchise value is so high. Is it Marner and Riley for McDavid? Marner and Riley for McDavid probably gets you Connor McDavid. But we need to throw in some salary because we need the salaries to work a little better. Where is Cody Ceci? $3.2 million. So that's about 15 to 17. Or on the Leafs side is about that's over 18. $18 million, and on the Edmonton side, it's about 15. So about $3 million of difference. So Toronto will have to figure out how to unload $3 million, but they get Connor McDavid and Cody Ceci from Morgan Riley and Mitch Marner. Trade rejected. Okay. I'm happy that didn't work either. So we know Tavares, and that didn't work. So Riley, Bertuzzi, Liljegren. Bertuzzi makes too much. So let's do Liljegren. $3 million. Everybody on the Leafs makes too much. Nice. Goaltenders. Ilya. Oh, let's say Leafs got Joseph Woll and it's all good. All right. This is it. Forget the salaries. Let's say the salaries work out somehow because John Tavares re-signed for less. So let's do Mitch Marner, Morgan Riley, Timothy Liljegren, Matthew Nyes, Ilya Samsonov for Cody Ceci and Connor McDavid. I think, chat, before I propose the trade, Robert says leave Cody Ceci back in Edmonton. Edmonton gets upgrade just by unloading Ceci. Ceci is not wanted in Toronto. Everybody wants me to take out Ceci. Okay. We're taking out Cody Ceci. I'm doing it just for the salary's sake, okay? Oh, okay. We took out Ceci. Somebody said throw in Hyman. Give us Hyman as well. I think like that might make sense. But we're gonna propose. I think this gets done. This gets done 100 times out of 100. And I think you're the Leafs. You do it. I would do this. I would do Marner, Riley, Liljegren, Nyes, Sammy for Connor McDavid. This is it. This is the trade. I would do it in real life. You're acquiring Connor McDavid. You are now a cheat code team. You figure out a way to rework John Tavares, and his deal comes up next year. I don't know how you figure out the salaries. You're done. Well, no, because you're making cap space here. Because you're making a lot of cap space. So Edmonton needs to figure. I've been doing this backwards. Edmonton needs to figure out the cap space because they're taking on nearly $20 million in space. So the $8 million. So let's actually. So yeah, let me. Why am I thinking like that? So before I hit go through, let me see who makes a lot and sucks. Kane, CC. Nobody wants CC. All right, let's just try it. I'm willing. Let's just do it. Trade accepted. All right. We figured it out. Do the Toronto Maple Leafs do that? That was a lot. Matt Nyes, Mitch Marner, Morgan Riley, Timothy Liljegren, and Ilya Samsonov. Let me know. We have the workings of something substantial and real. I'm like, no word of a lie. No lie at all. Right there is the basis of some sort of real deal. Like, there's something there. There is something. If the salaries can work out, this is something. I'm telling you. I'm telling you right now. That trade is real. It works both ways as well. It's literally Connor McDavid, be serious. No, it is a video game. I will not be serious. I don't have to be serious. I'm not a real general manager unless it's in the virtual world, and then I'm the most real general manager. All right, so we're on to the Vancouver Canucks. We're almost done here. Connor McDavid for Elias Pettersson, 1-for-1, I think gets you done. Trade. Done. McDavid for Pettersson is done. If the Vancouver Canucks would like Connor McDavid, all they need to do is give up Elias Pettersson. Simple. Very simple. All right, next up and third last, the Vegas Golden Knights. This one's a little tricky because they got Jack Eichel, and I think you can make a deal around Jack Eichel. Petro and Chandler Stevenson. And I think you can get real close to acquiring Connor McDavid. Let me see. Jack Eichel, Petro, and Chandler Stevenson does not get you Connor McDavid. But Jack Eichel, Shea Theodore, and Pietrangelo does not get you Connor McDavid. Wow. Okay. Chandler Stevenson as well in that deal. 2 centers, 2 top defensemen. Accepted. There you go. Wow. Chandler Stevenson, Petro, Shea Theodore, Jack Eichel. Those 4. If I'm Edmonton, yeah, I do that. If I'm Vegas, no. There's no way. Vegas might actually... Vegas would have the assets to build around to do a McDavid deal. It's just that they would never do a McDavid deal because it's not what they need. Like, they got Eichel, and that's their first line center, and they're good. And like, there's no reason for Vegas to ever shake up a team that just won the Stanley Cup and you brought back the whole team and they look really good. So unlike Toronto, where this like, hey, Toronto could use Connor McDavid, there's no way that Vegas could ever use Connor McDavid. All right, Washington Capitals. Ovi's trade value is real low. If you're playing franchise mode on your own, like in NHL 24, go get Ovi. Franchise value is real low, and you could do a John Carlson, Kuznetsov, Ovi, Tom Wilson deal. I don't know if Washington has enough assets to acquire Connor McDavid. We've gotten to the point where I don't think Washington would ever do this, or Edmonton would ever do this, and I don't think Washington would either. So the top 5 trade value players: Dylan Strome, Tom Wilson, John Carlson, Yevgeny Kuznetsov, and Alexander Ovechkin. Are they enough to trade for Connor McDavid? No. Washington cannot acquire Mr. McDavid. Last, the Winnipeg Jets. Now we get something spicy. Just like the Leafs, where there is a use case for Connor McDavid, Connor Hellebuyck is the center of this deal. Well, he's kind of the center of the deal, but the center of the deal is really Connor McDavid, as he is all of these deals. Connor Hellebuyck for Connor McDavid isn't enough, but Connor Hellebuyck plus Josh Morrissey, and then you want to give up a center, so you want to give up Mark Scheifele. No, you want to give up Cole Perfetti, actually. That's who Edmonton would want. Cole Perfetti, Josh Morrissey, Connor Hellebuyck for Connor McDavid. Trade rejected. Not enough. Scheifele as well? If you're Edmonton, you don't want that deal. You don't want Scheifele if you're Edmonton. You'd rather Ehlers. Trade rejected. Kyle Connor, I guess. Connor Morrissey, Perfetti, Hellebuyck. Hey, okay. All right. Kyle Connor, Josh Morrissey, Connor Hellebuyck, and Cole Perfetti for Connor McDavid is our last trade of the evening. This was the trade there. Josh Morrissey, Kyle Connor, Cole Perfetti, Connor Hellebuyck for Connor McDavid. That's it. That was the last trade. We have successfully traded Connor McDavid to all 31 NHL franchises. Well done, everybody. Let me see if I can do this. Clap didn't work. I have a clap button, but I haven't pressed it in so long that it didn't work. This was a lot of fun. Let me hit the crab people button. Let me see if that works. Crab people, crab people. I'm sorry if that's really loud on the recording, but we did it. We didn't trade him to all 31 franchises, as Oh My Gosh points out, who says, except the Sharks. Yeah, except a number of franchises who just did not have enough to trade for Connor McDavid. So, thank you. Thank you for being here. You could have been anywhere in the world, but chose to be here watching this right now. I'm not ending the live stream, but I am ending the Jesse Blake Sports Report. I will be back on Sunday on this feed here. And I will see you then. Let me know if you liked the live version. The live version is not... Like, I don't even know if I think it's going to be a good audio experience. I have no idea how the audio experience is because there's so many, I was doing so much visual stuff and like the game clicking, this sound, like I assume the game clicking wasn't the most best experience to listen to when you're driving around or walking around, but this is much longer than the usual episodes. I've talked so much more than the usual 10-minute or 15-minute blurbs I give you on the JBSR feed. So yeah, let me know if you got any feedback for this. If you want to catch another stream live, hit up twitch.tv/SDPN live, and you can always hit up the chat there, catch us live. Make sure you're turning on the notifications because I do not have a concrete schedule yet on what day I'm going to be streaming, so I can't give you that at the moment. But I'll pop up live and you'll get a notification. Also, I'll drop it on the feed. Like next episode I record on Sunday. If I got a schedule for you, I'll mention it then. But yeah, thank you for being here. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be listening or watching this right now. And I appreciate you. Good night from Toronto.
That is how it's done.
The Jesse Blake Sports Report with Jesse Blake.
Jesse Blake, the guy that likes to hear his name twice in one sentence. Sure, I know him. No, he doesn't have an ego at all.